What up, Tube, and good morning. Before I start this video about the cruise vaccine mandate, I woke up to some news that I thought was interesting that has to do with the video you're about to see. The all-knowing, all-powerful Dr. FAUCI, and I said that sarcastically, has been diagnosed with COVID-19, has been vaccinated, all the good stuff. You know, he's the all-knowing, all-powerful, and has tested and has mild symptoms and has tested positive for COVID-19. In this video, you will hear me talk a lot about being vaccinated. Does not keep you from getting the, I guess you say getting COVID, and also it, they say it decreases symptoms. Well, how do you really know that? I don't think that they've studied people honestly with and without it. That's something that I go through, that you'll never know the true numbers. But the irony that I was doing this video and today it showed on the news that Dr. FAUCI had tested positive for COVID-19, I just find, let's just say, ironic. So I just thought I'd bring that up because that news to me just went right along with this video I'm about to show you of the unfairness of us being able to cruise without being vaccinated. So without further ado, here's the video. Thanks. What up, Tube? It's DJ, and I'm back to talk to you today about the mandatory cruise vaccination. As many of you know, I'm against that. I'm not against the vaccination as in a pro-choice. I think it is your choice to get it or not get it. I am against, however, businesses and any industry forcing you to do it. Such as, I have family that are in healthcare, that were in healthcare for 20 some years, and were willing to leave their job because they were forced to take the the vaccine mandate. Now, for a business to tell you that you have to do this to your body is just unconstitutional, in my opinion. You know, I'm not going to talk about like the abortion pro-choice, but I think the vaccination should be pro-choice. If you want it, get it. If not, don't. And that is where we're at. You know, I personally don't need it. I had COVID back in 2020 of November, and I had the full-blown 14-day COVID. Didn't lose my taste or smell. I just went through really bad body aches, no fever. Just felt like I got the crap beat out of me every night. My wife got it. She lost her taste and smell. Hers didn't last as long, and I have not had it since. And this is June 16th, 2022. So it's been 2 years, and I've not gotten COVID since. I've been tested many times when I've just gotten a little sick just to make sure I didn't have it. I've been tested to come back from Mexico negative. I live in Florida, where, as many of you know, Governor DeSantis has not had mask mandates. I've flown to Vegas. Since last June, I've been to Vegas 7 or 8 times. I lost count. I was there when they dropped the mask mandate, then they picked it back up in July, and then they dropped it again. The sanitation procedures out there have gone away, even in my local casinos here. So I've been in slot tournaments where literally you get done, the next person sits down, nobody wiped anything down. You can travel on an airplane with no masks, no COVID testing, no rapid testing. I flew to Mexico from the United States without having to test, but I had to test to come back in. I had no problem with testing. I think testing is great because I'd rather know that everybody's negative than positive. And I get a lot of flack. A lot of the people out there, the sheep, if you will, that call me misinformed. Well, I want to inform you. First of all, open your eyes. If they have to change the definition of a word so it fits their criteria, that's a problem. Now, look it up. They changed the definition in Webster's dictionary of vaccination. Look it up. You can Google it. You can Google what's said before, you can Google what's said after. Now, the cruise industry, unfortunately, is not under the U.S. They are all under different flags, which they didn't get the bailout, you know, when we had the COVID, and they were helping bail out airlines and their businesses. So the cruise industry took a bad hit. Now, the government recently decided to lift the mandatory COVID testing mandates on international flights, so they're going to let people come to the U.S., to take cruises, go to theme parks, so on and so forth. And like I said, you can fly with no mask. You can go through an airport with no mask. You can go to casinos with no mask. And trust me, casinos are probably the dirtiest place ever. You're touching money, you're touching casino chips, you're touching buttons. I mean, you're literally, it's just virus everywhere. And like I said, I've been out there, haven't got it since. So to get on a cruise ship, they have recently just dropped the testing requirements. You still have to be required to have 2 shots for the vaccine and proof of it. No mask policy, but they dropped the testing. Now, I ask you, America, England, UK, India, whoever's watching this, would you feel safer being next to someone who just tested negative for COVID, or someone that just has the vaccine and we don't know has COVID? It's been proved that when they first opened up cruising, you wore a mask and you had a vaccine. And they still were stuck out in the ocean with COVID outbreak. They were floating lab rats. It didn't work. Okay. I am not against COVID COVID vaccines at all. If you want to take it, take it. If you're an older person and you believe in it and you think it's going to help you, that's fine. I am not against that. But it should be my choice, and it is my choice. Now, the things I love to do are go to Las Vegas. I like to go cruise. I went to an all-inclusive resort. I used to enjoy that. I don't do it anymore. It's just not as fun anymore. I do love cruising. The only thing I cannot do is cruise. I can go anywhere else and do anything I want without a COVID vaccination, but I can't cruise. But you're going to lift the testing mandate? I'm telling you right now, I would much rather be on a ship full of people that I know entered that ship negative, and not even test when I leave the ship. I don't trust our government anyway. I mean, everybody knows the old saying, there's more money in treating cancer than curing cancer. I don't want to start a debate on that, but the fact is, can you trust somebody who has to change the definition of something that's been in the dictionary for how many years to make it fit your criteria? Open your eyes, people. So I am throwing out a challenge to you, Carnival, Royal Caribbean, NCL, the 3 majors, or anybody else. Let us unvaxxed people go on a cruise. Okay? If you want to, limit it to 1,000 people on one of your smaller ships. Okay? Take a 2,500 person ship and let us all, 1,000 of us, go on there. Let us test before and let's test after. Make sure that we test before we get on so we all know we're negative, and let us test when we get off. If we all go on negative, how are we going to get it? I'll tell you how. The only way we get it is the staff. Now everybody thinks that the staff is happy that they're vaccinated. Do you really think that? I know for a fact that I've talked to workers that didn't want to get it but had to keep their jobs. So the only way we could get COVID on board, if we're all negative when we board, would be from a staff member, right? Because if we're all negative and we all test, there's no way we could get it because we're negative. So how are you going to get it on board if they're taking all the sanitary precautions? You're always washy, happy. You're getting your hands squirted. They take all the precautions at the restrooms like they've done. They're using all the stuff that they put in place. When I was on the ship when COVID took place, it was the last ship in. Steaming the casino chips every night, keeping the bathroom doors open. The buffets were actually handing you your food instead of you touching the tongs, which that actually makes sense. They should have been doing that for a long time because that really does make sense. But the fact of the matter is, we all unvaxxed people deserve to be able to get a cruise too. I understand all these cruises go to international ports. This ship will go here for a time and then it'll go to Europe and so on and so forth. Let's take a ship. Let's just use Norwegian Pearl or the Gem, one of the smaller ships out of Tampa. Let's take one of those ships. Let's put 1,000 of us unvaxxed people on there. Let's test before we get on. Test even during the middle of the cruise. That's fine with me. And test after. And see what happens. And give us the real numbers. Don't give us the numbers that you guys put for propaganda. We're never going to know the real numbers of people who got COVID again, vaxxed versus unvaxxed. We're never going to find it out. The internet, whether you're pro or against, you're going to find articles that are going to prove you right no matter which way you look, because you can find anything on the internet. I can find a million articles that'll back my support that unvaxxed versus vaxxed is better, and I can find articles that say vaccinations are better. Whatever you want to find, you're going to find. We're never going to find out the real numbers and real truth. The government's not going to let us do that. And I'm sorry if you don't believe that. Well, that's your opinion. The fact of the matter is, we're being punished because we believe that our antibodies that we created in our own bodies beat the COVID, pandemic by ourselves. And I've not had it since, and I beat it by myself. My wife the same way. My mom the same way. All three of us haven't had it since. And we've all been tested. My mom came down here to visit me. We thought she might have had it. Did a rapid test. Ambulance came because she was having trouble breathing. Ended up, it was just a panic attack. She's a smoker. Did a test. She was negative. The fact of the matter is, why are we punished for not being vaccinated? So I'm volunteering to be the first one to go on an unvaxxed cruise. Somebody out here, please step up. Take 1,000 of us, let us go. Test us before, test us during, and test us after. If somebody tests positive, which I highly doubt it, if they test positive, quarantine them. If I test positive, quarantine me. But I'm telling you right now, if I walk on that ship negative, and if I have to test 36 hours before, that's fine with me too. I don't care. I will test all day long, every day. But I will not inject anything in my body that I do not want to. The antibodies that I created, that God gave me to create immunity against something, I trust way more than something created in a lab. Just like COVID-19 was created in a lab. I mean, literally. They said a guy got it by a bat and then all of a sudden it spread. Come on, people, get real. I don't know that many people. If I got the flu, I can spread it to the whole country. So anyway, it's frustrating that we're being punished for not being vaccinated. And it's also frustrating for you vaccinated people that now you're on there and you're vaccinated, and now you have people coming on and they don't require you to test. What if they have COVID? It's proven that the vaccine doesn't work. And if you believe it does, then what are you worried about? Okay? Honestly, if you believe the vaccine works, then why are you worried about somebody has COVID? I don't get it. Like, the vaccine is supposed to give you immunity, right? No, it's supposed to increase your immunity. Vaccine used to create immunity when you had chicken pox and so on and so forth. Now they've changed it. So if you're vaccinated, I would be more worried about people who are coming on not testing. And the cruise line is trying to bring back the testing. And I don't blame you a bit. I would much rather have a cruise full of tested people than just vaccinated people. But I really do want a chance. Just give us a chance. Like I said, pick 1,000 people on a 2,500 person ship. And let us go take a cruise. I don't care if it's 3 days, 5 days, whatever it is. And let us go. Let us all test before, during, and after. And see what happens. That's all I'm asking. Let us cruise. Hashtag let us cruise. The science is there, people. Whether you want to believe it or not, science doesn't lie. Propaganda will lie to you. Propaganda will make you believe you want. The media, social media, as in Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, any articles you read on the internet, of course the news, everything is propaganda. They will make you believe what you want to believe, and they will scare you into believing what you want to believe, okay? Let us cruise. It's not fair. Let us all take a chance. I know more people have had COVID since they've been vaccinated than I have. I had COVID once, haven't had it since, and I regularly get tested. Don't care if you don't believe me. Bottom line is, it's not fair. It's not justified in my opinion. And I will throw this out there. When they lifted the mask mandate, you didn't have to wear it in the airport, you didn't have to wear an airplane. Airplanes are full now. Completely full. I went to Las Vegas during the mask, where you had to wear a mask while you were in Las Vegas in a casino, which really sucked. You could only pull it down to take a drink. You had to put it back up over your nose. The only people who could do it were smoking, so people were smoking constantly, so they keep their mask down. But I went after they lifted the mask mandate. Vegas is back, baby. All the casinos are full now. I mean, the comps are starting to really go away because now people are coming back. Buffets are opening back up. Shows have opened back up. More people are visiting now because they don't have to wear a mask. Imagine what the cruise industry could do money-wise if they lifted the vaccine mandate. And if you want to, segregate it. Have a cruise for non-vax and have a cruise for vax people. But let us do a test cruise. Let us try and see what happens. Because I guarantee you, I feel more comfortable knowing that the guy next to me tested negative 36 hours before he got on board, and then tested before he got on board, and tested during while he was on board, than I would standing next to a vaccinated person who didn't test. And if you think that that's asinine, man, I don't even know how to argue that, because you can't argue with ignorance. Like, you know this guy doesn't have it, you don't know that this person does, it's proven that they can get it, so weigh it out, people. And with that, I want to end the video. Just give us a chance. Once again, if you're vaccinated, good for you. Live your life. But don't halter me. I can do everything in the world except cruise. Let us have a chance. That's all I'm asking. Thanks for watching. You know, I know there's probably going to be comments below. I'm not going to stoop to any level. I spoke my truth on here. And I know that there are a ton of people just like me that won't cruise because of the vaccine mandate. Cruise industries, you know, they're sending out discounts left and right because they just need people. Why? Because just as many people don't want to have to take the vaccination as people who want the vaccination. Just give us a chance. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. Hope everybody's healthy, and I hope everybody is enjoying their summer. Thanks again. Have a great day.